Hi, welcome back to Childcare Boss Marketing. My name is Natalie Moore, and I will be your coach for today. I get the question all the time, Natalie, how did you transition from your in-home childcare to a commercial? Well, I'm going to tell a story again for those that have never heard my story. Well, I did in-home childcare for from 2007 all the way up to 2012, almost 2013. And the way that I was running my in-home childcare is pretty much how people will run their childcare businesses inside of a center. And once we end up moving into a neighborhood that had a homeowners association. Now, those that don't know, when you're moving into a neighborhood that has a homeowners association, most of those rules and regulations, they require that you cannot operate a business inside of your home, especially businesses that contain a lot of traffic. And of course, I had a lot of traffic in and out of my home, because in the state of Texas, you can have like 12 kids, including your own. Well, I was open 24 hours a day. So I would have first shift, second shift, and third shift. So there was always a high volume of traffic within my neighborhood. And then I do a lot of marketing. Even when I was in my home childcare business, I did a lot of marketing. To this day, it is 2020. I still get calls from old marketing that I did years ago when I had my in-home childcare. I still get people that call me now saying, are you still open 24 hours a day? And they're referring off an old ad that I did. So marketing really does matter, but that's a video for another time, okay? So what ended up happening is I got noticed. They even contacted my landlord at the time, because at that time we were renting, saying that we had to cease and desist our business. So what I ended up doing, just to calm it down, I just only kept kids that looked like me, because it was hard to tell if there were family members or not, versus when in San Antonio, we have a mixed crowd, and it can easily tell that who was related to me and who was not related to me, and it was a business. And they even went on Craigslist to see if I was marketing, if I still had my website up, marketing the address. So I just stopped marketing an address altogether and only gave an email address and a phone number to contact me. Meanwhile, this is why I'm always stressing with you guys, get you a real estate agent, because it took me almost 6 months on my own trying to find a location, and I could not find a location, and my feelings was getting hurt, because I'm like, I've been building this business, I've been building this brand for years, and just because we moved into this home and we're stuck into a lease now, I may be about to lose my business at the moment, and I didn't want to do that, because you got to understand, imagine making almost $5,000 a week. Imagine that for the childcare business you do. I did transportation. Like I said, I did all 3 shifts, and each shift was a different price, and I couldn't afford to lose it. So one day, I went to this commercial setting. It was in a strip mall, and it had the information for a real estate agent. So I contacted him. He was a young guy at the time, and he was hungry. So he was excited to have a client like me, because I'm telling you what I need. I'm telling you what I can afford. So he said, well, Natalie, maybe we looking at it all wrong, because you got to keep in mind, that was the only commercial property that I went to. My mind was fixated on, I'm going to find a house and turn the house into a daycare, because it's a homey feel. It's a small setting. He said, you thinking on a small scale. I may have a property that may actually fit what you're doing. So I'm still currently in that location today. So when we went to look at the property, I only got one suite. So after having a meeting with the landlord, he said, well, why don't you just take up both suites? And I was very adamant about, I just want the one suite because it's in my budget. This is all I want to concentrate on. And they did the build out for me. I didn't have to come out of pocket with nothing. The only thing that I had to come out of pocket for was the paint and the fixtures. Everything else, the landlord did it, because it was it was more like a warehouse, and all they was going to give me was a white box. And while the contractors was there, it made more sense for me to pay the contractors to do the work that I needed to do. And because I built such a good rapport, and I was on site working with the contracts and the landlord, I ended up not paying anything, guys. The most I've paid for was the characters on the wall and maybe the stove and the refrigerator, but that's comical. Well, I got so big so fast that I had to go to another suite. Now, mind you, when I first moved into this suite, I didn't start from scratch. I'd already had 15 kids enrolled, so all I did was transfer my children to the daycare because I was able to find a daycare close by the house, close by the neighborhood, and this way it wasn't a big inconvenience for the parents. And they actually love it. And to this day, I still have some of those clients because they keep growing their family, and they love the work that I do. And I'm so excited about that, guys. So I got big so fast because when I first started off, we started off with only being able to carry for 46 kids. 46 turned into 84, 84 turned into 100 and something. It don't matter, but I started off like that. Meanwhile, while I was waiting for the build out, I was going to garage sales. I was going to the thrift stores. I was looking online for daycare centers that was either closing down or was selling things. I even came across a few vendors that sell used childcare furniture. So I started storing and packing, and plus the stuff that I already had in my in-home childcare. Once they deliver the daycare to me, I was able to fill my daycare up real quickly. And I said all that to say this. Even in your beginning stages and your planning stages, start saving stuff, because imagine finding this building, the perfect building, and you have to put down your deposits, you have to pay your rents, and once they're finished and everything is finished and you have to turn everything over, imagine trying to fill up that whole daycare at one time. My advice is not to do that. If you can afford to get a storage, start storing stuff in your storage. If you have a garage, start storing stuff in your garage. I prefer to get a storage because you don't want your home to be over cluttered with childcare stuff, because then it becomes a headache. You really want to take your time and plan these things out. And I stated in a video a while back, if you have not gotten a chance to look at the other videos on my YouTube channel, please do so. Give me a thumbs up, like and subscribe. You want to make sure the toys that you buy have not been on recall. And there's a website, I probably will leave the link down below, where you can check to see if an object or a toy, a baby bed has been on recall. You do not want to put those toys inside of your business, because once licensing come through, you'll get a deficiency for it, because they pretty much already know what's been discontinued, what's on recall, and you don't want to be stuck holding a toy or a bed that can be possibly hazardous to the children, or a safety hazard to the children. So I just started saving my stuff. I started putting stuff in storage. So by the time my daycare was ready to be delivered to me, I was able to fill it up real quick. And doing so, we got big so fast. It was just overwhelming in the beginning, but once I got the hang of it's truly a blessing in disguise, especially if you're walking in your purpose, because I know my purpose is to be working with families, to be working with people, to be working with children. That's why I do what I do. And I'm always stating, if you're just in the childcare business just to make money, I can promise you, you will be disappointed the first few years, because the money that's coming in, you have to put it back out, because it takes money to grow money. And if you're not in it for the children and the children's well-being, you will get frustrated on many of your days, and you're going to call it quits. Because it took up to the third year where I actually started seeing a real profit in my business. And once I started seeing a real profit in my business, that prompted me to start opening other childcare locations, and it prompted me to do what I'm doing right now, giving you guys this video right now. I'm able to get the equipment. I'm able to talk to you guys, because I'm just now, after 3 years, I was able to start seeing a profit in my commercial setting as a childcare center. I have a book out that my first book is called Childcare Chronicles. how I actually talk about this story inside of that book. So if you have not received that book is on sale right now. If you get it directly from me for $10, it's also available on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. You can get it on Facebook right now, or you can contact me and I can give you this book now for $10. But if you go on any of the other sites, it's whatever their price is, because they have to get their cut also. So guys, I'm gonna leave this video right here. If you have any more questions on how to transition from an in-home childcare to a childcare center, leave me a comment down below, inbox me, or visit www.childcarebossmarketing.com. I am on all social media platforms: Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, you name it, I'm there. I'm good at responding back in a timely manner, so just get with me, guys. You want to know how to transition from an in-home childcare to a commercial setting. So remember, guys, in the world for bosses, be a mogul. Bye, my moguls.